Good day, people. Today we are going to talk about Ajax, a very fun and annoying thing to learn. But it's okay, just stick with me and we will get through it and, I guess, have a blast while doing it. Up to you. So why are we at MSN.com? Because we all know their news service isn't that great. Well, the first thing you have to know about Ajax is we're going to take a large step back and understand traditional versus new way of thinking. And the traditional way is clicking links and expecting to go places. And that is why we aren't MSN. Because you click a link, a new URL will show up, and you are sent somewhere else where new information is displayed. So let's take another step back and look at it in a very odd and very ugly picture. So this is you. You are well, not you, because you are the developer trying to learn Ajax from watching this tutorial. But this is your person viewing the site. And he is viewing it through his PC, which is using a browser, be it Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, etc. And what happens when you click a link in the traditional view is it sends the information, and this information is header requests, post variables, and get variables. And we'll explain the last two in a minute. But it sends those three things to the server. The server uses that information using its own programming, be it PHP or ASP, whatever you use on the server. Then it sends information back to the client, and it's usually in the form of a new page. And somewhere along the line, I'm not sure, probably like 2000, a new way of thinking came about. And this new way of thinking uses JavaScript and Ajax to create a different experience. For some reason, I lost the picture of the guy. So what happens in the new way of thinking? Well, let's take a look at YouTube. Actually, I was listening to a song earlier. Fighting Chances. Don't hate it on me for such a cool song. So, what is this console thing? It's called Firebug. It's very useful for debugging Ajax and also seeing Ajax on other people's sites. So have you ever noticed that when you're on YouTube, when you click another page, it just updates, but the video is still playing? Well, that's Ajax. It's sending to the server, asking for new information in an asynchronous way where it doesn't disrupt the page and refresh the entire page, but it also displays the new information. So how does it do that, you ask? Well, what happens is in the background, instead of asking for a completely new, refreshed page, JavaScript sends a little secret call to the server, which is what the squiggly lines represent. They represent secrecy. So in secret, it sends this call. The server still runs its conditional using PHP and ASP, and it'll send back its response in another secret call, in a secret response, which we can see here. This is the secret call with all the parameters. Here, let me raise this up a little. And this is the secret response that is displayed back to the user in some user-friendly way. Now, what's going on here? This is where we get into get and post variables. If you've never used PHP before, you probably don't know what those are. So let me try and explain them in a very simplified way. Whenever you write something, I can't write on this, but if I were and I was to send it, there's two ways to send it. There is get and post. To show get, we're going to go to Google and just type in something random. In fact, I'll say random. Did you ever notice in Google that when you type something, a huge URL is displayed above with a lot of ampersands, and all these other things? Now that is get. what Git does is it displays all of its variables in the URL. So that way, if you ever want another user to see that information and want the server to, respond in the same way, you use a Git variable. Of course, it's not very safe. If you were to use this for a username and a login, someone could just change it up here, and your site wouldn't be that secure. So what you want to do in that case is use a post. Post is kind of different in the way that it sends it. It sends it in the background, and users might be able to use it, but it's a lot harder to manipulate that than just a Git variable. And so that's the only difference between post and Git. Nothing too big. So let's get to the example. Right now we have a simple HTML. Now we don't. But now we do. We have a simple HTML document. It has a script going to an Ajax document. So far, nothing complicated. If you've never worked with JavaScript before, you probably shouldn't be looking at this tutorial because you need to know JavaScript to know Ajax. In fact, Ajax stands for Asynchronous JavaScript and XML. So you obviously need to know JavaScript and not really XML. That's for later. So, and for some reason I deleted the Ajax. Nowhere it's on my desktop. This is the Ajax request. This right here. This beautiful long thing. So let's break it apart one by one. Don't worry about the comments. This was a request for post, but I switched it to get. So just worry about what's actually uncommented. In fact, let me remove the comments right now while I'm talking. So the first thing you'll notice is this if statement. So what's going on here? Well, back when this all started, of course there's a war that made it a lot harder to implement this. And of course there's two ways of thinking. There's everyone else and Internet Explorer. That's not entirely true. Internet Explorer created Ajax, but for now we'll say they didn't follow the standards until IE7 and later. And so for backwards compatibility, we actually have to have this if-else statement. But in the end, they all work the same. But it creates a new XML HTTP request. Either way. It just has different syntax for both. Nothing too complicated. Next, it's the open. This is kind of like establishing a connection with the server. It's like saying, open your door so we can talk to you in a secret way. The first one is declaring if you're using a get or a post variable. Each one has different ways. Get is a lot easier to use, so I'm using it for this one. The next one is the exact page you're requesting for, and I just made a page called get data, which we'll see later. And what true does is it decides if it's asynchronous or not. Asynchronous means that you will send the request and you can do other JavaScript on the page. Non-asynchronous or synchronous means that all JavaScript will halt until this is done, which kind of defeats the purpose of asynchronous JavaScript in XML, or defeats the entire purpose of Ajax. So just keep it to true for now. Next is the onReadyState change. This is a function that is called every time a state change happens in the HTTP request. Now, when will a state change happen? There are 4 different possibilities. The only one we're going to be worrying about is a 4th possibility, when it's finished. And that is shown here. And what it does is it sets up a function that says if the ready state is 4 and the status is 200, then print this out. The ready state being 4 means that it's all finished loading the page that was requested for. The status, you've actually seen these statuses. You've never seen 200 though, probably. Some statuses you've seen are 404, not found, 403, not authorized, 300, permanently moved. But 200 you never see because that actually means it's successful. And if it's successful, you see the page, which means that you wouldn't need to see a 200. So yeah, you need 200 there to say, all right, this is successful. We know the data is actually here. And what do? All we do is really alert the response text. And that's it. So what is the response text? Well, let's look at getData.php, which is what we're requesting for. In getData.php, all we have is an echo statement in PHP that says, hello, you have accessed the server, and we are sending you a response. So that is what it will alert. Anything echoed or output is what will be sent to the client. So, in fact, if we wanted to, we could just say it like this. And all it will do is interpret that. But since we want to use PHP, we're doing it like this. And so then we go to Firefox, which I already loaded this up. I think I put it here. Nope. Okay, well, I put it on my server. Here we go. Blank content, which is the HTML that I loaded. So let's reload the page. And alert, hello, you have accessed the server, and we are sending you a response. So it worked. This was done in the background, even though it was an alert. Actually, let's see, do I have enough time? No, I don't. I've actually run over time. I will talk to you guys next time and show you some more cool Ajax things. Peace.